So the 0.36 update, if you're having problems with all of your material assignments now, like so all your buildings, are all jacked up, all these materials don't work anymore. From what I understand, I guess they updated their texture sets to PBR. So what this really means, I guess, is now what I'm having to do is go through all of my material JSONs, and what I'm going to do is I'm removing all entries related to anything that's from West Coast, because I think this is all changed. So I'm going to take the new JSON and make a new folder from the new West Coast folder to fix my map. So I just wanted to make a video to show that. So here's what I'm basically doing is I'm taking this garbage. I'm just going to hit delete. I'm going to go one more, delete, make sure my spacing is correct. So gazebo square, I'm leaving that because it's from Hiroshi. So you can see I'm leaving that. West Coast. So I got to basically take this, delete it. So this is all pointing to stuff that is probably no longer working. So I'm just going to delete that. Hiroshi, West Coast, and container, West Coast. So these are all West Coast. Got to get rid of that. Just go one at a time. Some more West Coast stuff. Let's just delete that. Have to be just double sure, make a backup before you do anything. That way you can revert. It's a little bit mind numbing when you have to do this stuff, but it shouldn't be too hard. So let me see, West Coast, West Coast. Just want to get rid of all this. What is that? Oh, there must be something wrong there, but so there's not a. Let me just see here. I'm just going to go from here up. It's best to go one at a time because if you accidentally delete something, you might find yourself spending a lot of time trying to figure out what you deleted, but this is pretty good. So I'm just going to do that one now. Basically working my way all the way down, removing everything that's associated with West Coast from my JSONs. And that's Hiroshi, so I can just delete that. Then there's some more. When I was making this map, really jumbled it up, but luckily it doesn't matter where they are as long as they're there. So we'll get it fixed here. Shock absorber, what is that? Material. Roads invisible, I don't know. I'm going to delete that. West Coast. Okay, now I think that's it for the West Coast references in this one. So I'm just going to go to the next file. And important to note, I guess, that I do have traffic lights, and I did check the traffic lights, and they are working. However, I thought I got them from East Coast, but in this case, I do have an instance traffic light going on from there. However, I'm going to leave that, and that'll be the last entry in my list here for this JSON. So I'm going to leave. That's like the only West Coast one I'm leaving. Everything else I'm deleting. And in this particular JSON folder, I have the whole Steel Factory folder here, so I'm actually going to just delete this JSON entirely because that's all that's in it is West Coast related stuff. So I'm not going to need it, so I'm going to delete that entirely. And an important note is that I only want to do this for items that no longer exist in the West Coast main game directory, like material references. So like I'm going to leave, so basically what I'm saying is I'm going to leave some things based on if they still exist. So like for example, this main material file I have right here, which is housing a JSON entry that goes to levels West Coast road T highway concrete AO data PNG. That file still does exist. So in this case, I want to leave that JSON intact. I could just delete it, and because I'm basically going to be taking everything from the new West Coast map and just pasting it into my map somewhere, and that's all I'm going to, or into my folder. The JSON will be pasted into my folder, and that's all I'm going to have to do. But to save myself some time, I'm probably going to skip all the roads because I'm not seeing any issues with my roads. The issues I'm seeing are really just with my buildings, so that might save me a little bit of time here. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to skip any of those references that are basically, I'm not going to delete this if it says it's going to road. I guess it's, if that makes sense. And my theory is that I think the roads were already PBR textures where the buildings may not have been. So maybe what they did was they updated the buildings to PBR, whereas the roads were already PBR. I guess. I don't know. Either way, I'm looking to just really fix my buildings, I guess. My terrain seems okay, so I'm not going to have to go through terrain here today, thankfully. But let's see if I can get these buildings figured out. So just to clarify, so what I said was I was keeping the roads. One way to make sure that you don't have to delete it is if you just do a search and it won't find anything on West Coast USA /art /shapes /buildings. If something is pointing to that directory and you have a JSON for it, it's not going to display a material because I think they totally redid that whole folder directory. And I think that's where this whole issue stemmed from. So I'm just going to keep this copied and keep moving down. And then for the trees, I don't think we have to do anything with the trees. I don't think the trees are broken. I think it's just the buildings because I'm looking at the West Coast, the new West Coast, and I'm still seeing like the same stuff. So for now, if it's a tree or a road entry, I'm just going to leave that. I'm only going to worry about the stuff that's in buildings. So. Alright, so now in order to actually get this thing fixed, I think all I need to do is get all of the main material information from West Coast and just put it anywhere. For the sake of organization, I'm going to put it kind of, my map folder's kind of crazy, sorry, but I'm going to probably just put it in buildings. I don't have a main material here, but let me just put, so I'm going to go, island doesn't have one. Steel Factory has one. I need that. So I'm going to go copy. I actually have a Steel Factory folder, I thought. Let me see. Man, this folder is so cluttered, but. So I'm actually probably just going to go to buildings. I'm just going to create a new folder, imported, or let's just do a material fix folder because I need to just fix that. So I'm going to do the Steel Factory. Basically just going to put this in there. And you can tell that the JSON file is significantly larger. Like the old JSON, I don't think was, although that still says 1.5, so I don't know if that matters. Or was it 1.0? 1.5 is PBR, I guess. Anyway, the issue is the JSON, and that's all you got to fix to solve that. But all right, so the only other one is levels West Coast art, shapes, buildings. I did Steel Factory. Main material, let me just copy that one. I'm just going to put it right here for now. Because it's just buildings, really. Then I think that's it. Because objects, I don't think was changed. No. Shapes, objects, billboard. Let me do objects too. Just do a new folder, call it buildings. objects. So I'm going to take this, put that into objects. I'm actually going to rename this to West Coast material fix. So got 3 JSONs that came over. Let's see what the game looks like. I think roads I'm not going to do. Trees I said I'm not going to do. Rocks I don't think were impacted. I didn't see any of that. So let me go through. I'm thinking it's just objects and buildings then. Alright, I think that actually fixed it. Let's see. There you go. Yeah. So now my buildings are looking right. Let me summarize what actually went down just so you're clear. Looks like I'm good. I guess I can repack and re-upload and share this bad boy. So, oh, my flag's not working. That's the only thing, but flag's not working. Let's do this. Open and so here's how you like check stuff. So material, flag USA loose. If I click that, I get this material editor. So I can see that the JSON is in this location. WC material fix objects. Let me see if I can decipher this. Okay, so this is probably just a case where it's pointing to that local folder. So if I look at edit and I look at flag loose, let's see, where's the color map going? Levels, West Coast, art shapes, obs. Does that not exist anymore? Let me see if this exists. Okay, so that does work. That looks good. So the color T flag loose is correct and that does exist, so that's okay. Alright, I don't know why this is going to my local folder. It doesn't look like it's a conflicting JSON, so I might try. Okay, I think I found the issue. It's because for some reason this color map line is actually empty, but the normal map is pointing to figure 8 test, which is my map name. I don't know how that happened. I guess the game likes to do things on its own, but anyway, I'm just gonna reload that. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna repath this to, which would be West Coast USA. Art shapes buildings. Get rid of this. Oh wait, art shapes objects. Sorry. So get rid of the buildings. Flag loose DDS. Normal DDS. So let me do my. Actually gonna. Let me just copy that then. I'm gonna Control C. I don't know why this line is needing me to edit it, but I'm just gonna change this to color. Levels, West Coast, art shapes, objects, flat loose. I think it's, what is it, D? Diffuse. .dds, Control S. So that's what my new, I'm just editing this manually, I guess. Let me just reload my game. See if this actually, because if you look at the game, it's trying to pull a color map that doesn't exist. So I'm trying to repoint it. Let's see if that even does it. Actually, I may have done a discrepancy. Let me go back into that. So flag loose needs to be, what is this? This has different wording. What the hell did they do? Flat, color map. T, what did they do? Change the flag to PBR? Flag underscore USA underscore loose underscore B dot color. Man, they really changed that thing. Alright, let me check my normal. Levels, West Coast, use art shapes, objects. Flag, T flag. Let me just copy this. Control C. Control V. T flag USA loose underscore B underscore, okay, so it's underscore nm, oh, it's this one, underscore nm dot normal dot dds. So that's the new scheme for the flag, I guess. I hope that works. We'll see. I need to kind of go over what I did at the first part. It's not too hard. It's really not that hard. But alright, in this case, it's still reverting back. I'm not going to spend too much time trying to figure it out. I'm just going to come up with a quick fix, which I'm just taking the color in the normal map and I'm popping it in that same folder right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit my little file guy. I'm going to go to that folder. I'm going to pick the color. I'm going to hit open. I'm going to choose it again. I'm going to do the normal on the normal there. And then I'm going to save my current material, save the level. If it saves, and then it should stay now. We'll see. There's other ways to do it, but I'm just trying to get this video done. Alright, flag is still not working, and so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to basically rename those images, I think. I'm not going to spend time trying to figure out why it still wants to point there. It's probably just another JSON somewhere, but whatever. I'm going to move on and simply give the fix, which is changing the name to match. So what I'm going to do is copy, Control C. I'm just going to go, let me go over here actually. Oop. Yeah, that'll work. Move this. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the color. I'm just going to rename it. What is it? Flag USA loose underscore D. That'll be good, I guess. And then for the normal, look, instantly popped in. And then this one I'm just going to do Control C, rename, Control V, n.dds, enter. Did that come through? Oh, I don't need the .dds. Just need the n. There you go, enter. Did that work? Let me restart the game. Oh, it would help if I put the correct spelling. Flag USA loose. There we go. Let's try it. Alright, after restarting the game, you can see the flag is good. I just wanted to go to my material editor, check my normal. That looks good. So all I had to really do, I mean, that's just for the flag. So let me just summarize what actually went on. So I found out this morning that all my buildings weren't working, and that I guess after the 0.36 update they had updated all of their buildings and objects to PBR textures. So that I was having issues with the billboards, was having issues with the buildings and the objects, and everything it was giving me a no material. I still got to go through and check everything, but let me just summarize what I actually did to get that sorted out. So basically all I had to do was delete everything, every JSON entry that was pathing to either of these two folders in the West Coast folder. I just had to delete the JSON. If there was other JSON entries that were pathing to other maps, I left the JSON in place and just deleted the West Coast entries. And then the second half was I just created new folders for my material fix right here. So I just added the buildings, objects, my flags to fix that, and then the steel factory as well. And that was just because I had some items from steel factory as well. This might not apply to everybody, I guess, but I guess that's pretty much it. I'm not really good at explaining things, but if you're working on a map and all of your buildings for your assets from West Coast are broken, all you really got to do is worry about deleting any JSON reference to the West Coast, and then just copy over the new JSON folder or the new JSON from shapes or buildings, or sorry, from objects or buildings, and that would get you back to where you need to be. And then just to summarize, finalize, so if you look at this and you look at the material editor, or shape editor, You can see all of these materials now. If I click cladding zinc, I can see cladding zinc right here. If I click concrete, I see that. If I click plasterboard, if I go all the way down this list, I should see all of these materials show up when I have the shape editor open. If you click one of these materials and it doesn't show up here, or it shows up incorrect, that's because you got to fix a JSON. So if you're having like an issue with just one specific object, all you have to really do is click on the object, check the materials from the shape editor. If you notice one is missing, you can actually look and see right here this directory where it's where the JSON file is sitting, and then you can additionally look and see what color maps it's looking for. So in the event that you have issues in the future with future updates, that's the general way to fix it. So I guess I'm gonna update my map, finish, check it, and I'm gonna upload it to the repository and call this bad boy done. Alright, see you later.